Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, cool. I'm just tweeting a minister in government who's now back in, which is fantastic. I was delighted this guy's back in to regulate our profession, so sorry. Multitasking, Adam.
Face some opposition from doctors, like junior doctors or general practitioners or nurse practitioners?
Not really, Adam, no. It's been really, I think our numbers, we started small, and it's like small acorns, you know, you plant small acorns, great trees, and eventually it kind of seeps out and builds up. And actually in doing it that way, I think we've done the profession right. You know, now we've got a massive increase in numbers coming through. So with the big increase in numbers, people then, you know, you then become visible, don't you, with the increase, and therefore that's when people start thinking, oh, well, what about us, or what about this, or what about that? So, but not massive opposition, not yet. People have concerns. I think that's absolutely right. You can answer their questions, but we're not, we're not here to replace anybody. We're not here to, take anyone's jobs or anyone's training opportunities. We're here to, redistribute the workload of this health service. It is just on its knees. It's beyond on its knees, and PAs are, that's what we're about, providing good medical care to patients. So. So we have this, I said to someone earlier on, we have this sort of perfect storm evolving in the UK where we don't have enough of any workforce. We've got increasing demand in service. We run a 24/7 service, and actually we've always run a 24/7 service, but just at the weekends and in the evenings it's reduced, but it still exists, and actually people still have to work in those services. And what PA is doing is bringing in new people into healthcare. So we're taking biomedical graduate students in the main, and I think we graduate some between 16 and 18,000 of those per year in the UK, Adam. And we're taking those people who are smart, who have the academic capability of learning medicine in 2 years. And it isn't all of medicine we're trying to deliver either. It's, it's the common and important things.
So I actually, in my final year of university, there was a teacher that was teaching hematology. And he mentioned in like one sentence in one of the lectures that he was a physician associate. And I was like, okay, what is that? Sleepy, confused, so I need to look sleepy, confused, dry hair, hair loss, loss of outer third eyebrow, dry palms. Okay, so we'll do that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good.
It's been a while now. I've just been feeling kind of low and just I don't understand what's happening to my body. I'm just not feeling well.
Okay. So how long has this been going on for?
I'd say
So we have a PBL, which is problem-based learning, once a week. So we get given a new case. So we spend about 2 hours discussing a clinical scenario, so a pretend patient. And then we have learning objectives that we go away and work on over the week. So that's really helpful. I find that's like the best way to learn.
I agree, and coming back and discussing the learning objectives, and some people find something so interesting that you've missed, and it really aids your learning, talking through it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, because we all get different information, so it's so good having those few hours where we're discussing
and also that because some people actually have experiences, so they've seen, let's say if they've done nursing in the past and they've seen a patient like that, and when they tell stories, it retains mind a bit more, doesn't it?
Yeah. My work experience is actually mainly in Brazil.
Can you talk about Brazil?
It's very, very different. It's a lot more relaxed there. I was so surprised at how easily I got work experience. I just met a nurse and I told her, I would love to get some experience in the hospital. And she was like, okay, I'll call a doctor. She called a doctor and was like, I have a friend that wants to, go to the hospital. And he was like, yeah, just tell her to come in. So I went in to his office, I met him. He's a cardiologist. And he was like, yeah, I'm in on Thursdays and Fridays at this hospital. You can just come meet me and I'll show you around. And I had the most amazing time. I turned up every week for about 10 weeks. And he just showed me everything. He introduced me to all the doctors in every kind of speciality. So I went through, nephrology. I did cardiology, acute medicine, surgery. But it's crazy because I just turned up and they let me see everything.
So I have to ask you this. Have you ever made yourself sick, Jessica?
No, I haven't.
Okay. That's great. And so you say you've gained a few pounds as well, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this has this life event ever occurred before? Symptoms?
No.
Okay. This is sounds tricky. Hypothyroidism?
Yeah.
The hypothyroidism?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey.
Awesome.
I absolutely love the feeling when you get a diagnosis right.
Oh, yes.
It's like, yes, it's something's actually going on.
Yeah. When you can answer the questions that your supervisor asks. I know that.
And they're like, oh, well done. Yeah, once they say well done, it's like, you feel so elated.
It feels so good. But healthcare is very, very different in Brazil to how it is here. It's a lot. Obviously, they don't have the NHS, so it's a big struggle. You see a big separation with the rich and the poor, which you don't see here. Over here, you go into, a hospital, a ward, and you can't tell, what status somebody has. Over there, it's quite clear with what status they have.
How do you know?
Just depending. I'd say sometimes a lot of the doctors will treat patients differently because it is a lot about money over there as well. You'll see in their what wards they're put in, or whether they have a private room. A lot of the rooms are very kind of cramped together. It could be that it's the hospital that I was in as well, but yeah, you do see a big difference there. So that is something, coming here and having experience here, I've got a big admiration for UK healthcare system.
You spoke about something this morning about some opposition from.
It's sensationalism from the journalists, isn't it? Where they they sell papers. That's their job. So 3,000 PAs. In general practice, they're half-price doctors, all that sort of rubbish, and that's not new. That's an old story. They've rehashed. So either they were really desperate for something to put in the front paper this morning, because obviously the papers were out before the fire broke out this morning. But that has I think taken away the focus from their front page this morning. So I think that will, the fire this morning in the Tower Rise is obviously taken over all the media. I think you can bring. I suppose we are cheaper in the long term to employ than you would employ a doctor. So I think in real terms, yes, it is cost saving, but actually I think it's cost saving if you employ a team of PAs, because actually you can provide a full service. You still have your doctors, you still have your nurses, you still have your healthcare assistants and everyone else who needs to exist to make that whole team work. But yeah, we will always work with our supervising physicians. But I think, you know, that this is like the apprenticeship model. It's like, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi and his master is his master apprenticeship model. But in terms of initially when you're a new graduate, that will be a very close supervision model. And as you get more experience, you become then that extension of your physician, which is no different to the US model at all here in the UK.
And I remember my question. So you're here at the Royal College of Physicians.
Yes.
Why?
So we do have full support from the Royal College of Physicians. We are the first non-doctor faculty within the Royal College, and they have their 500th anniversary next year. So a faculty being a group of people, it's not like individual faculty members at a university, but it's a organization, so a faculty of physician associates, and they made that offer to us to become a faculty at the RCP, which was an amazing step.
So do you get invited to their party?
We do sometimes go to some of the social events, and we have our annual conference is held here currently, although with the numbers that we're expecting to graduate over the next few years, the venue will no longer be large enough for us, which is in itself really exciting. When I see our cohorts now at St. George's, right, I had 68 people start last year. Well, that was more than 50% of my total number of graduates at that point. And more than twice as many total PAs there were in 2007 when I came. You know, we had about 30, and I had 68 students start last year. So it's very rewarding to see the growth and how the profession is developing in the UK.
Yeah, I know those have been amazing things, you know, formation of our faculty, the formation of our profession to start with, you know, in terms of our professional body. So, you know, our national examination, getting people through that, you know, our students are a real testament to the work that they put in. So I think every student that qualifies and graduates through the national examination is another moment of fantasticness, I suppose that's even a word. I think our PAs, the work they're doing, the stories they're telling us, you know, about good quality patient care, about their own achievements, you know, it's just brilliant. And forging pathways and forging relationships. It's just, I mean, there's just so much to sing about and to be thankful for. I think the moments of deep depression and despair have been around again. Regulation, we're almost there, and all of a sudden it comes crashing down. Or our media, our sensationalism. You know, it's like, let's tell some good stories about what we're doing. You know, let's not divide the professional groups, let's bring them together. It's about patient care, and it's about providing that care. And I think for me that has to be centre of everything that we do. And we're not just paying lip service to that, it's about doing it.